Welcome to Cyberoam Online CCNSP Training, Module 10. In this module, we'll be learning about the network high availability. So this will be the agenda of our presentation. We'll be learning about Cyberoam offerings in terms of high availability. We give you hardware level HA, application level HA, and network level HA. Computer networks are always required not only to give maximum throughput, but also to be always available. The state of a hardware and software to be available at any instance of time is termed as high availability. Now, users want their networks to be ready to serve them at all times. If a user cannot access the system, it is said to be unavailable. Generally, the term downtime is used to refer to periods when a system is unavailable and which is not acceptable by any company. A lot of companies have their own SLA of downtime, and you need to keep a required minimum amount of uptime for your network. So let's have a look at what Cyberoam offers you in terms of hardware level HA. In this approach, the hardware is engineered to such an extent that it can give you zero downtime. In Cyberoam, this approach is done by three most highly engineered methods: appliance clustering, redundant power supply, or via LAN failsafe. So let's have a look in the appliance clustering. So appliance clustering approach by Cyberoam has Cyberoam OS cluster, which consists of two identical Cyberoam layer 8 firewall with the same Cyberoam OS version. Now you have to be very careful if you're going for a cluster of Cyberoam appliances. You have to keep the same Cyberoam OS version, and it's very important, same. The version has to match with each other in both the appliances. Now, Cyberoam OS offloads the button from Network Administrator to configure policies on both the appliances. And there are two approaches to this type of deployment: active-active and active-passive. Now, in an active-active deployment, Cyberoam OS on both the appliances is active at the same time, and both work together, sharing the network traffic and hence multiplying the throughput. However, in an active-passive deployment, only one Cyberoam appliance is active at a time. When the first one goes down, the second one is triggered by Cyberoam OS and starts functioning identical to the first one, so as a result of which you don't lose any existing sessions, and it carries on the sessions from the active to the passive appliance as well. Now, Cyberoam supports HA in all the deployment modes: bridge, gateway, and in mixed mode as well. Now, there is a small note which you need to keep in mind. Cyberoam OS calls the active and passive appliances as primary and auxiliary respectively. HA configuration and troubleshooting is out of scope for CCNSP and is a part of CCNSP training, which is the next level of training. I'll just show you a sample deployment and the sample cable connections in case of high availability. Now, you got to connect both the appliance to a same switch for the WAN scenario, and you've got your primary appliance WAN connected to the switch, which is connected to the internet, and you've got the same auxiliary connected to the same switch as well. And you got to do the same thing for LAN and DMZ as well. You got to connect both the appliances to the LAN switch and DMZ switch as well. Now, it's always advisable to keep separate dummy switches, or else you can keep it in the same switch by in different VLANs just for segregating, and there might be an issue with a lot of ARP entries when the appliance fails over in the switch. Now, that's why we always recommend you to maintain different switches. However, you can always maintain a same switch as well. Now, there is an additional port which you need to configure in Cyberoam, which is the heartbeat port, and these two ports should be connected directly to each other. Now, this can be in DMZ port most of the time. If you want to get into the details of the configuration, you can go to our knowledge base article, but it's always better not to keep any switch in between and connect the two appliances directly as well. Now, Cyberoam offers you redundant power supply. Cyberoam appliances can not only be redundant with Cyberoam OS, but also with the power supply. What if the power goes down? Is your appliance redundant? Yes, of course, Cyberoam is. Cyberoam layer 8 firewall appliances come with a redundant power supply using hot swap, which means both the power supplies are on at all the times. However, if one goes down, it does not affect the Cyberoam appliance or Cyberoam OS, giving you zero downtime. So you can see the front panel of an appliance where you've got the HDD 1 and 2. Of a bigger appliance, you've got the LCD display, the console port, management ports, and JBIC ports as well. You've got the fiber ports over here, USB ports over here as well. And this is the back panel wherein you can see the two redundant power supplies. Now if one power fails, there will be a screeching warning sound to allow me, it's like a kind of alarm, and to alert you that okay, one of my power supplies have failed. And there's a small button over here, so you can press that and the screeching sound will be gone. So it's always advisable, do not plug in only one power supply, always keep both the power supply plugged in so that you can take advantage of the redundant power supply. We also offer you LAN failover. Upon failover of an appliance or Cyberoam OS, Cyberoam's LAN failover takes over the control, ensuring zero downtime. LAN failover is available only in bridge mode. You have to remember this feature is functional only in bridge mode. Remember when we talked about deployment modes in bridge mode, we talked about LAN failsafe as well. So that's what LAN failover is. So during the failover mode, it's also known as hardware bypass, Cyberoam OS identity-based policies and firewall rules are non-functional. It just starts to act like a pure hub. LAN failover is a disaster recovery situation. Upon encountering LAN failover, a customer should immediately contact Cyberoam support. Now let's have a look at the application level HA. Cyberoam OS provides you application level high availability. When Cyberoam Layer 8 Firewall is deployed in active mode, Cyberoam OS can be configured to load balance the traffic through the chosen Cyberoam appliance. So in this way, the productivity of business critical applications and revenue generating traffic like SAP, ERP, etc. can be increased. So you can say, okay, this is a pretty much heavy traffic generating application, SAP or ERP. I'll route it via this particular appliance, or I'll route it via the other appliance. But this can only happen when you have the Cyberoam configured in active cluster. Now let's have a look at the network level high availability. Now, multiple WAN links can be terminated on Cyberoam, like you can have ADSL over Ethernet, you can have MPLS over Ethernet, you can have DSL over Ethernet, you can have 3G over USB as well, and even 4G LTE modems over USB. Cyberoam has got a multi-link manager which is responsible for managing the network level high availability. So this multi-link manager makes use of weighted round robin algorithm to load balance traffic across multiple WAN links, and it decides based on the metric or weight configured on the gateway. The traffic distribution across links is in proportion to the ratio of assigned weights to an individual link. Now, how do you select the weight then? How do you know what is weight? Now, weight can be selected based on link capacity for links with different bandwidth, and link or bandwidth cost for links with varying cost. So on link capacity, let's say you've got a 5 meg link and a 10 meg link. And you say, okay, I'll assign a weight of 2 to the 10 meg link and a weight of 1 to the 5 meg link. So the load balancing will be done in the ratio of 2:1. So 75% of the traffic will be going via the 10 meg link and 25% of the traffic will be going via the 1 meg link or 5 meg link. So by default, all the gateways are assigned a weight of 1. So Cyberoam will do load balancing in 1:1 across all gateways until and unless you manually change the weight of a specific gateway. If you assign a weight of 0 to a gateway, that will become a backup gateway or a passive gateway, and that gateway will not participate in load balancing. That gateway will only be activated once your primary gateway fails. Now this is a sample screenshot of the load balancing, how it happens. So you can see this is a 10 meg link and there is a 5 meg link, and I've created another 3G link with 1 meg, which is, we have kept it as a failover. And here we have assigned a weight of 2, and 5 meg link is a weight of 1, so I'll say 2 and 1. Let's see how the packets get load balanced. So the first packet comes in, and it goes out via the 10 meg link. Fair enough. And now the second packet comes in from another user, and it goes via the second link, which is the 5 Mbps. Now the third packet comes in, again it takes the route of 10 meg because it's doing load balancing in the ratio of 2:1, since we've assigned a weight of 2 on the 10 meg and weight of 1 on the 5 meg. Now if any one of the link fails or all the links fail, depending on your failover condition, what you have specified, this 3G link will be activated. Now to specify the weight, you need to go to network, you need to go to gateway, and then you need to go to the gateway name and IP address, and here you can set it up as active or backup, and this is the weight which you specify on individual gateway. Be very careful while you assign the weights to a gateway depending on the bandwidth or on the cost of the link. Now if you want to configure both the gateways as active, you can do that as well suddenly, because if both the gateways are active, then only they will participate in load balancing, and this green status means both the link are up and running and both of them are active at this point of time. So if you see a red icon over here or a red light over here, which means your gateway has gone down. Now by default, all the firewall traffic is load balanced across all the ISP links in proportion to the weight. So you can go to firewall, edit any one of the rule, and here you can set it to route it to a specific gateway, and you can also keep a backup gateway as well. However, by default, everything is set to load balance. Now, backup gateway. A gateway that can be used in an active passive setup where traffic is routed through backup gateway only when active gateway is down. This option is only available when 2 or more gateways are configured in Cyberoam. So you've got to select whether you want to select any gateway as backup or you want to select it as an active. Now if you select it as backup, there are certain failover conditions which you can maintain, or you can say activate this gateway when, under which conditions. Now under these conditions you can select to activate the backup gateway if any of the link fails, or all the ISPs fail, or a specific ISP fail. Then activate this backup gateway. Now you can also do the same configuration via the firewall rule, wherein you can select route through this particular gateway and then activate this gateway or keep this as a backup gateway. So if the ISP1 fails, traffic will automatically be routed through ISP2, which is the backup gateway. Now there are certain gateway failover rules which you need to create, and you need to be very careful about it. So the transition from dead link to active link is based on the failover rule defined for the link. Now failover rule specifies how to check whether the link is active or dead, or what action needs to be taken if the link is not active. Now it has a sample format, if and or loop. So if this condition and or condition 2, then take this action. Depending on this particular format, you need to create a failover rule. Now here's a sample screenshot of the failover rule. So I've selected if not able to ping on IP address this, and not able to ping on IP address this or this, then shift to another available gateway. Now if you are selecting ping, be a bit careful. Some routers do not allow ping. So you have to first check from Cyberoam CLI interface whether you're able to ping your gateway or not. If you are not able to ping, you'll be seeing a red light on the active link, even though your gateway will be up and running. So just be a bit careful on that. If your ISP or ISP router is not allowing ping, change it to TCP or to some port number, to check it on some port number. So that's one of the things which you need to keep in mind. And make sure to have the correct gateway failover conditions configured on the appliance. Otherwise, traffic will not fail over in case the link is down. You also get email alerts. So Cyberoam will automatically send the mail alert to the administrator whenever the gateway status changes. This applies to only when Cyberoam is deployed with multi-gateway. So you get an alert mail showing that the gateway status is down. Again, when the link comes back up, you get another email that the gateway is up again. So it's very helpful for the administrator to configure the email alerts, and Cyberoam will automatically shoot you an email when the gateway is down or it comes back up. Alright, that brings us to the end of this module, and the next module which we'll be doing is general administration. Thank you for attending the presentation.